More information on this program, or if you'd like to express an opinion, email us at info@caucusnj.org and visit us online at oneonone.org.
You're looking at Michele Rodger, who is the author of Carole's Story, A Scottish Gem, and she's also HR business partner at TD Bank.
That's right.
Good to see you, Michele. Tell everyone who Carole was.
Carole was my sister-in-law. She started off living in Scotland and then came over to the States. And when she came over to the States, we became very, very close.
Your husband's sister?
My husband's sister, yes.
And you know, I started reading the book last week. Our mutual friend, Nick Michele, told me about it, and we got it, and I started reading it, and it immediately grabs you. It's powerful. It's personal. Tell the story.
She was an amazing person. She had this zest for life that was bigger than life itself. And when she was living in Scotland, she was diagnosed with breast cancer. And when she was diagnosed with breast cancer, she got through that all by herself, which was great. In the meantime, her marriage had fallen apart, so she got a lot of things happening to her in the amount of 6 months. The story really is about her tribulations, her triumphs, her challenges, and how she had this zest for life and this strength and this hope to continue to persevere until she found what she wanted to find, which was true love, and that's when she eventually came over to the United States.
What are we looking at right there? That picture. What are we looking at? Right over there. See?
That is when she got married. She got married February 14th, and then a couple of months later, in June, she had a celebration and a reception in Scotland. So we flew over. My husband, Decca, was her, the person that gave her away.
Right.
It was very special. She just was full of life and loved life. So when that happened to her, she held on to this strength, and she always thought in her heart that she was going to make it.
And so she had a positive attitude right up until the day that her struggle, her fight ended.
Absolutely, right up to the day when I tell you that we never thought she was going to leave us. I'm not kidding you. I was positive that we were going to get this miracle and she was going to be able to stay with us longer, but it just wasn't meant to be.
Yeah, but there's a particular cancer treatment that's talked about in the book.
Yes.
That you want to talk about. Tell us.
Yes, that would be great. There's a foundation called the Kansas Cancer Research Foundation, and that foundation was something that gave Carole hope when she was alive. They don't use radiation and chemo, they use radio waves to target the bad cells. So, you know, when she was going through all of this, she always wanted to be the spokesperson. She kept on saying, all I have to do is hang in there and I'll be able to be on Oprah. And
that was one of her dreams. You read about that in the book.
That was one of her dreams, and that's one of my dreams. So when I wrote the book, I knew I had to maintain her spirit, because there was no way she was going to pass, and I wasn't going to somehow make sure that her spirit stayed alive. So I wrote the book, and then I realized that I only needed to write the book, I had to somehow figure out how to close this massive hole that was inside of me because of this loss. So when I was writing the book, it dawned on me that yes, she passed, but her spirit will never pass. She will always be with us. So that then became my bigger mission. When I was writing the book, I thought, right, it's not only about immortalizing her, it's about making sure other families don't have to go through what we went through.
What does that mean, making sure other families?
Because
say something, family. I'm sorry for interrupting. A family's watching right now. A family member is struggling.
Yes.
They have cancer. It's a battle. It's
yes.
an ongoing battle, and they're losing hope. And you say to them,
I say to them, there are other options out there, but we have to fund them. We have to make sure that we just don't rely on the chemo and the radiation.
I mean, other treatments.
Other treatments, absolutely, other treatments. When your family member has cancer, it's an emotional roller coaster. They are in the first car of that roller coaster ride, but you are 1 or 2 cars behind them, and you're going like this. There's no doubt. So we've been through it as a family, and what I really want to do, and the happy ending to this story, would be one day to be able to sit across a table from someone that was treated with this device that targets just the bad cells, leaves all the good cells alone, and that person says to me, I was diagnosed with stage 4 cancer, and I don't have a stitch of cancer in me now.
That's the dream.
That's the dream. That's the happy ending.
What is this book, writing this book, talking about the book, what has it done for you?
I've always been a person that likes to help people. I never saw myself on such a huge forum to help people, but I know I will make a difference. I know that one day I will be part of a different alternative treatment to cancer.
But I have to say this to you. You're not a writer
Yes.
by profession.
No.
How the heck did you write this book?
Right. Well, that was the tricky part. So,
Minor detail.
Minor detail.
With a full-time job, right, at TD.
Right.
Go ahead.
That's right. So I went
and
to
you got 2 kids?
2 kids
Oh,
at
come
the
on.
time.
All these things get in the way of writing the book.
Yeah, well, we put them to sleep at 8. No.
And what would you do then?
Well, I went to the bookstore and bought a book on how to write a book. So after I finished reading that, I felt much more comfortable on what my task was in front of me. And I had it in my head where I wanted to go with books, so it wasn't a problem with me knowing exactly what it needed to look like. I knew the cover of that book a year before it got there.
You knew that you wanted Carol's story, Carol's picture like that,
I
right?
knew the picture was going to be oval. They kept on saying, no, it's going to be square. I kept saying, no, it's going to be oval.
It's your book, you'll design it.
That's right. And I told them there was going to be mountains in the background because she loved to mountaineer.
Right.
So I had the vision. I still have the vision. I know I'm going to be a New York Times bestseller.
You know it.
I know it. I know I'm going to be on Oprah, and I know I'm going to make this movie.
Yeah,
this
but
book a
the
movie.
key is before you go to Oprah, you got to go to PBS with us.
That's right.
That's
I'm here, first
this is a
part.
training ground for
That's right.
Oprah.
I mean, it's awesome.
And real quick, Carol's kids.
Yes, they live with their father in Liverpool, England. We got to see them for the first time last year.
And all the proceeds of the book go?
Part of the proceeds go to Kenzie's Cancer Research Foundation, and then the rest go to other things that gave her hope.
You are terrific.
Thank you very
much.
much.
And we're so glad you came through on your book tour.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Funding for this edition of One on One with Steve Adubato has been provided by the New